Garden. The men are already off and running. I'm Dave Eddy here with Tom Chasuk and the coach of the Southern Stars, Mr. Bill Hill. Second skating period first for the men's. Breaking away very quickly, all four jammers out, and it's going to be a wild Donnybrook before this one is over. Bill Grohl working at the back of the pack on Kennedy. Grohl doing the blocking for the Express. Rides him up and over the rail, and now Grohl will try and move on Cattell here with just a couple of seconds left. And going down hard is Phil Moore. And Cattell going down on him, and now we're going to get a penalty on Cattell. And I believe with that's going to go a point.
Bill, is this the type of thing we're going to be seeing the rest of the game with Cattell?
Well, you know, Cattell took a cheap shot. He had the man beat. The man was down. This early in the game, there's no reason to risk the penalty. I think that the Cattell might have been thinking that he was going to set some rules for the game. You understand? He's going to try to set some boundaries, but that was senseless.
Is that a way of trying to intimidate the other team?
Yeah, I think that's what Cattell was going for. But there's not too many people he's going to intimidate, I don't think.
You know, an exciting matchup to watch tonight, I think, will be Steve Sartini of the Express and Jimmy Smith of the Pioneers, Bill.
Exactly. You got two guys.
All right, the men roster for the Midwest Pioneers. Number 51, Chuck Kennedy. 2, Joe Perez. Jojo Stafford wearing number 53. He's the coach. Number 54, Sean Atkinson. 57, Jimmy Smith. And number 58, Jerry Cattell. Infield coach, Nick Scopus.
Trying to get a jam underway, and it's Sean Atkinson breaking away. Sean wearing the striped pivot helmet and breaking out right behind.
On top, he had him beat all the way in. Stafford could have gone in at that point, moved Paul out, and Sean could have gone on through the pack. JoJo just didn't have his head in the game then. He waited too long. 1 point for Sean Atkinson and the Pioneers. They lead here in the second period, 9-4.
You know, a real treat for New York fans here today, I think, is Bill Grohl and the James Paul team up. You know, usually we see them skating against each other. Today we're seeing them together, and I got to tell you, I think the fans are really excited about that.
Yeah, the good, the bad, and the ugly all on one track at the same time.
All right, now for the Eastern Express men's field, number 41, Steve Sartain. 42, Joe Gilbert. James Paul, number 44. Frank Macedo, 45. Number 46, Bill Grohl. 50, Phil Moore.
And going at it right now is James Paul, along with Jerry Cattell. Referee's trying to break it up. Cattell made no bones about that one. He put Paul down real quick.
Big Dave, you made a mistake. James Paul wasn't going at anything. He was getting gone at. And Jerry Cattell just put a honey whipping on him right in front of everybody. I love it. That's intimidation.
Yeah. It looks a little more than intimidation to me.
Yeah. I think Cattell's been watching some films of Bill Hill and Sean Atkinson and the Southern Stars. That's what I think he's learning something.
Although Jerry Cattell is the one serving the 1-minute penalty, I think James Paul is actually serving a little bit more right now.
Yeah.
I think that's a guy who's going to see his chiropractor tomorrow.
Don't you love it? Don't you love it?
Cattell not through yet, and James Paul goes right into the trainer's table. As if Terry Lyons doesn't have enough worries taking care of the skaters. Now his table's being demolished as well in the center of the track.
Yeah. Cattell went a little bit too far then. I mean, if the referees see him do that, we're talking major fine, we're talking major penalty. He can't afford to lose him at this point in the game. He had Paul hurt. There was no need for that second shot, but it was a little nice, wasn't it?
Well, that's what nice is to you, Bill.
One thing going for the Pioneers, although Cattell is in the penalty box, that they have a good infield coach and probably the best infield coach, and that's former great Nick Scopus. Pioneers will skate short-handed. Moving out is number 42, Joe Gilbert. And moving on him is Smith. Smith with a good leg block takes the inside. Now Gilbert and Smith. Sounds like a music group, but it's not. Gilbert and Smith. Bill Grohl back there to block. Puts up punishing block on Smith. JoJo Stafford returns a favor on Gilbert. Going down is Gilbert, and now Smith takes the inside track, and Bill Grohl will be back there to put the block on. He does, hits him real hard, just barely staying up. Grohl with a real hard block. Give credit to Smith for staying up. Now he's down. And now Grohl moving on JoJo Stafford. Here comes Bill Grohl out of the turn. Puts JoJo down. Going by for the point is Gilbert, and cutting it off. 1 point for the Express.
Well, I'll tell you, Grohl was mighty heavy on that block. He put every ounce he had into that one, and he put Stafford out, and it didn't take him very long to do it. But Grohl's been doing that for years. You know, he likes to get the setup where he's got the new kid coming in the back of the pack, where he can work him over, make everybody think how good he is. But then he showed us something. He took Stafford out.
There's Gilbert who picked up the point with the assist from Bill Grohl. Bill got a good head of steam out of that turn. Bill, as you well know, you're probably the best at it, coming out of that turn with a head of steam. I don't know why they even stay in there, but they express.
So if you'd been hit by John Weston, you'd probably scatter too, Dave.
No thanks.
You know, today's IRSL Challenge Cup game is a unique opportunity for the fans because each of the teams in the International Roller Skating League is represented. Of course, the hosting Eastern Express and their opponents from Chicago, the Midwest Pioneers. But you can also see the Bay Bombers, two great skaters, Bill Grohl and John Weston. Plus some bright lights from the Southern Stars, Diane Severson, Sean Atkinson, and of course, here in the broadcast booth, the controversial Bill Hill.
And I'm certain the pleasure is yours.
No comment.
We have rejoined the pack here, and breaking away is Rita Williams. Rita, who's been unheard from for the last couple of jams, but now breaks away. It's over. The referee is trying to get the pack back together, and we'll resume action here in the third period with the women Pioneers 14, Express 13, 6:20 left to go in the third skating period. Weston at the head of the pack with a pivot helmet. Jan Vallow likewise. Trying to work her way out is Rita Williams, and Williams gets out first, but Willie Ryan right on her heels. Willie gets the inside and hits Williams with a block. Williams and Ryan going at it as the jammers. Ryan and Williams jockeying for a position here. And seem more content right now on just working one-on-one and not scoring. But they figure if they could take out the other one, then they'll have sole possession of the back of the pack. And Willie Ryan does just that as Rita Williams goes down on the bank track. Willie Ryan all by herself now, number 41.
You know, Dave, there is no skater that gives more than Willie Ryan. Game in, game out. A lot of determination, a lot of effort.
Willie has her work cut out here. Eric and Vallow setting up double block. Joan Weston back to help her out. And Dolores Holmes. Holmes, Weston. The one with the striped helmet is Willie Ryan. She's the one that counts because that's the one scoring. 4 seconds left. Can Ryan get by? Ryan goes by on the outside as Weston went inside. Through the block. Faked them out. Going up high. Willie Ryan, 2 points.
That was a nice play. Could have been a little smoother, but I think you got to realize Joan Weston hasn't worked with this Express team. She's new. They don't know her moves. We got a Donnybrook going here. Rita Williams and Willie Ryan, they wanted each other. You know, I don't know what they'd do with each other if they got hold of them, though.
And we'll show you just why. As Willie Ryan is there, she's the one with the striped helmet and the only one that can score on this jam. There's Weston. They thought she might come through the legs or something like that. No, on the high on the track, up on the rail, 2 points.
Round on the outside. Unorthodox move. Most of the time when you try that fake play, you put your first jammer in on the inside. Weston had a little twist that time.
Over at the other end of the track, very quickly. Down was Diane Severson, Joan Weston.
Get that camera off that.
25 seconds left to go. 19-18 Pioneers over the Express.
I bet you did that. You told that camera to zoom in there, didn't you?
Oh, I did not.
James Paul still assisting Crivello on the infield. Frankie Macedo also there. Terry Lyons doing a yeoman's job here this evening. We're only wrapping up the third period of the first half. A lot of activity, which means a lot of action for trainer Terry Lyons. There goes that world-famous Madison Square Garden horn to end the third period of play.
Big Dave, tell me something. How many yeomen have you ever met?
None, actually. But that seems a moot point right now with all the action going on the track. Eric's still standing. Vallow's still standing. But Holmes is down. Weston is down.
The only one standing are the refs.
They're going to try and sort this one out. Here comes Hugh Kendall over to the scorer's table.
Well, there's not much to sort out. I think they need to start picking the Express up.
Eric puts Holmes back down on the turf. And that's going to draw this third period to an end. Women's final period in the first half, with the scoreboard showing the Midwest Pioneers 19 and the Eastern Express 18. This is it, the fourth period of play, the final period in the first half. The IRSL Challenge Cup is on the line, and the Eastern Express and Midwest Pioneers are slugging it out. I'm Dave Eddy, along with Tom Chasuk and the coach of the Southern Stars, Bill Hill. And we're ready to start the first jam in the fourth period. Frankie Macedo giving a whip to Sartain, and he breaks away. Sean Atkinson out there. Also Smith, all four jammers out.
It's a mighty might, Steve Sartain.
Sartain and Gilbert both go down, and now it's double-barreled activity for the Midwest Pioneers. Sean Atkinson out there along with Smith. JoJo Stafford working on Bill Grohl along with Jerry Cattell. And an easy 2 points as Cattell double-teamed in the pack that time. 2 points, Midwest Pioneers, and they made it look easy, Bill.
Yeah, well, it was easy. Stafford and Cattell got Grohl off Sean, and Jimmy had to do it to sort of waltz by. Not real difficult. You might even be able to do that, Dave.
One thing the fans at home, and I know a lot of fans here at the Garden want to know, Bill, why did you not skate for the Pioneers?
I don't skate for anybody but Bill Hill and the Southern Stars. I'm a natural leader. I don't skate for Nick Scopus. I don't even particularly like Nick Scopus, but I want to help him. I did my part. I let him use Sean Atkinson. I don't skate for anybody. Don't ever ask me anything like that again.
Bill, now come on, aren't you a little jealous?
What does Bill Hill have to be jealous of?
That you're not out there skating tonight. That they didn't choose you. Isn't that what it comes down to?
I was invited. I turned them down.
Phil Moore out on the jam as we get back to the action on the bank track. Chuck Kennedy out there. A couple of newcomers to the track, more especially tallest man in the league. And that's got to account for something here as he goes against Kennedy, but not this time as he's hung out to dry. And Kennedy will move on the pack. And the man he'll have to face is James Paul when he gets back there.
I'll tell you what it accounts for, Big Dave. He's got farther to fall down when he gets hit.
Kennedy met there by Paul.
Watch Jim Paul. These blocks are not legal. He's hitting the man in the face with the arm. He thinks that's cute.
Leg block by Paul. On Kennedy. Now, was he skating backward there or what?
Going backwards. He should have gotten a penalty.
Nick Scopus thought so. And going down hard is Kennedy, and for all that, he picks up nothing.
I'll tell you, the only reason Jim Paul did not get a penalty was because he's got on a green and gold uniform, and he's skating in Madison Square Garden, and these referees know who the home team is. He should have gotten a penalty. You saw it. He was turned around. He was going backwards. He hit Kennedy going backwards, right, Tom? I mean, even you saw that. He should have gotten a penalty.
Well, from our angle, it appeared that way. The referees may have had another viewpoint. Hard to say. In fact, we'll take a look at it here. They always say the camera doesn't lie. It's our ally. But, of course, now football with their instant replays, so who knows? Line puts Perez down, and that's going to end it right there.
Oh, that's called a cheap shot. A real cheap shot. There's no call for that.
1 point for the Pioneers. 26-18 is the score.
I guess Jim Paul was upset because he showed up that time, but it wasn't Joe Perez that did it. It was JoJo Stafford that knocked him out of the way, but you don't see Jim Paul going after JoJo Stafford, do you?
Well, I think he was just in the way. Jim was just frustrated at that point.
Well, but still, the track doesn't belong to just Jim Paul.
Fans, if you'd like to get on the mailing list to find out about the next game in your home area or to receive a free copy of the rules, you can send it to the address shown on your screen, IRSL, P.O. Box 7979, San Francisco, California, 94120. Or on the East Coast, IRSL, 140 Main Street, Buffalo, New York, 14202. You can also write your favorites. Skaters, why not send Bill Hill a letter?
I get plenty of them. Don't send me any more. I don't have time to answer.
I wish you'd answer mine once in a while.
Yours aren't legible.
One-syllable words, right?
Maybe you just can't read.
Moving out is Moore, as Moore survived that 2-on-2 there, as Sartain took out two jammers. Now moving on the back of the pack is Moore. Bill Grohl directing traffic. Wants Sartain to take care of the two jammers. No, Grohl's going to do it himself. Hammers Atkinson with a block, puts him up high on the rail. Smith goes up and over. Now one more to contend with for Grohl. And going on, trying to score in the pack is Moore. Moore gets by Cattell after some good blocking by JoJo Stafford. And finally cutting it off is Smith. James Paul out of the penalty box lays a block down on JoJo Stafford. shot at Jerry Cattell, talks it over with his skater. Now whips in between the legs of Jerry Cattell goes Gilbert. Gilbert goes smashing into the boards by JoJo Stafford, but picked up the valuable point for the Express against the Pioneers.
Who was this? Was this Tom that said this was a mismatch?
No, that was not me. That was you.
Would you tell him to quit putting words into my mouth?
Someone has to.
Do you expect me to sit here and take this abuse?
Not for much longer. 27-22, Pioneers over the Express. We have just about come to the end of the first half, but of course if a jam gets underway with any time remaining on the clock, it will go the full 60 seconds. Here we're getting a replay of that last action. Picking up the point was Joe Gilbert for the Eastern Express through the legs that time.
That was a good effort. You kid, good effort.
Made it look like he was driving through the Golden Gate Bridge. Well, on the East Coast, I guess the Holland Tunnel. 28 seconds left in the period. We'll get this jam underway. Sean Atkinson, it will go the full 60 seconds, even though the regulation time will run out here in the first period, in the first half. Macedo, double team. Sean Atkinson back there. Also moving up is number 57, and that is Jimmy Smith. Smith and Atkinson, what are they going to do here? A double block, a whip, and now Macedo breaks away from it. Macedo, the veteran, moves on the pack. A pull away by the Pioneers. And Macedo get the help from his teammates. Grohl with a whip. Here comes Moore. Paul doing the blocking. Down goes JoJo. That's 1 point. Here goes Macedo. Out goes Perez. Cattell the last one. Here comes James Paul. Jump block. Macedo by. Tucked it off.
The hometown boy does it.
3 points for Frankie Macedo on the Express. Atkinson trying to go after Macedo. Atkinson trying to get at him any way he can. James Fitzpatrick trying to do the job. Credit all the Express that time. Bill Grohl with a whip. James Paul with blocking in the pack. 3 points. We'll watch the replay here. Here comes a whip by Grohl, as we told you. Then blocking in the pack. Down goes JoJo Stafford. Then down goes Joe Perez. You'll see him get past right there. And here comes the whip. And Cattell taken down to the track by James Paul. The 3rd point for Frank Macedo. Tom Chasuk will be down trackside for interviews, so be sure and stay tuned, because we're at halftime, ladies and gentlemen. A look at the scoreboard shows the Midwest Pioneers 27, the Eastern Express 25. We're back with interviews right after this. We're at halftime of today's game with the score of the Midwest Pioneers 27 and the Eastern Express 25. I'm Dave Eddy with Bill Hill. Now let's go trackside with Tom Chasuk and his halftime guests.
I'm joined now by 2 skaters who don't need any introduction, but who happen to demand one. Women's captain of the Pioneers, Sherry Eric, and Jerry Cattell, her teammate.
That's right. You know, the interview is starting off pretty bad to start off with. You know, I hate talking to short people and looking down to people, you know.
Well, look, I used to be tall, all right?
Oh, you used to be?
Yeah, I used to be tall.
Oh, okay.
Hey, well, look, you grew.
Let's forget about that, okay?
All right.
I want to talk about our team and the brutality. Yeah, the #1 Silver Cup champions. We come in here, they loaded with Joan Weston and Billy Grohl. They go out, they break her hand right there. Look at her hand, it's all wrapped up. They've dislocated Chuck Kennedy's shoulder. You know, what else can they do? That's the temperament of these people in New York. All these jerks out here that seem like they thrive on violence and bloodshed around here. You know, I'm getting tired of it. I think Sherry is too.
Well, now let me ask you, didn't you 2 start it out there tonight?
Oh, come on, are you kidding? Where are you from, New York or what, huh? They're all over us all the time, and every time they do something, the referees turn back. Every time we do something, they're all over us. We get the penalties.
No.
How many penalties have they had? 1? We got about 10.
Well, 10 because you deserve 10.
Well, this is competitive. This is competitive skating. You've got to be a little bit go get 'em, have a go get 'em attitude. If you'll be competitive.
Go get 'em attitude. I mean, how competitive was it for you to jump on Jim Paul?
Well, if you could see what Jim Paul was doing, but you never see that, you just see what I do. No, never. That's New York people for you.
Well, we see what you do because you're big. You're out there.
I'm big, sure. And I'm smart too. Don't forget it.
That's right. And
yeah.
That's why you're #1?
Yeah.
Well, now let me ask you, I understand you're having your head x-rayed also?
Oh, you're funny. No wonder you're short. You have a smart mouth.
Now you're hurting me.
Your team hurt me.
Are you an Express fan?
No, I'm not an Express fan. I'm just taking the devil's advocate point here.
All right. Well, you know we're the champions. We don't have to lie about that. We're the champions. we're going to go out there and give them. We're going to show them the second half what it's all about.
All right. Well, let me
played with them the first half, second half.
All right, Sherry. Let me ask you, what is your strategy going to be for the second half?
For the second half, we're going to go out and kill them. They went out and they tried to kill us, and then we come back on them. The referees, they always catch us, so we're going to go out and kill them, but we're not going to let the referees catch us this time.
That's your strategy to win the Challenge Cup here?
That's right. That's right.
James Paul is trying for notoriety, trying his darndest, but he just can't get there. He doesn't have it. You know, he doesn't have that suave and the moves that everybody else has got. So, you know, he's got a little work to do. That's all.
We've got twice the team they've got out here tonight too. Look at the score. Did you see the score?
Yeah.
Huh?
All right.
All right. What score? What score? What score?
I'm not going to turn around. I'm busy. I'm busy interviewing you.
27-25.
All right, Sherry, Jerry, it's been a pleasure. Been a pleasure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, now back up to you, Dave.
Thank you very much, Tom, and the Sherry and Jerry show. Our score at halftime, the Midwest Pioneers 27 and the Eastern Express 25. For Tom Chasuk and Bill Hill, I'm Dave Eddy, along this special IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. From Madison Square Garden, this is the International Roller Skating League's annual Challenge Cup game. The hosts, New York's Eastern Express, led by Coach James Paul and women's captain Dolores Holmes. Their opponents are the reigning Silver Cup champs, the Midwest Pioneers. Hello, I'm Dave Eddy, along with Tom Chasuk and the coach of the Southern Stars, Big Bill Hill. We're ready for action here in the second half, the fifth skating period, the first skating period of the second half. Women are on the bank track, and we're ready to go, gentlemen. Out on the jam is Allie Atkinson, along with Connie Abordo for the Pioneers. And we were just about to give you who these skaters were for the Express, but they went down on the track, and now it's just a duo for the Midwest Pioneers. Abordo, Connie Abordo, and Allie Atkinson. But Joan Weston is back there, and she's done double duty like this many times. Second half. 2-on-1 Harrison trying to outskate him and cuts it off.
Now
Smart move that time.
That was heads-up skating, Bill, you have to admit.
I don't have to admit anything.
Well, she was outnumbered.
Okay, she got lucky. I don't think that she intended to do that. I think she was just afraid to deal with Severson, so she wanted to call the jam off.
Afraid?
Yeah, that's Diane Severson.
All right, the Midwest Pioneers lineup for the women. Number 53, Sherry Eric, co-captain. Number 54, Ali Atkinson. Connie Abordo wearing number 55. Rita Williams with 57. 58, co-captain Jan Vallow. And number 60, Bill Hill's favorite, Diane Severson. A lot of people's favorite.
To the infield, and still was able, as she went down, to give the whip to Willie. Willie going on the inside. Wilma Ryan, 3 points, ecstatic.
Saw the replay. You saw Johnny Weston push her.
All right, the lineup for the Eastern Express in the women's field. Number 41, you just saw her, Willie Ryan. Number 44, Dolores Holmes, captain. Number 45, Pam Harrison. Number 47, the Golden Girl, Joan Weston. Number 48, Pam Patullo. And number 50, Carol Crivello. You did that very well. Thank you. But Bill, by the way, I understand you're a newlywed. Congratulations.
That's not what I heard. I saw him down at the Transit Authority.
Oh, really?
Hey,
Is that right?
he's just kidding.
Well, now, Dave doesn't lie.
He's just a newlywed.
I've got it on Sony. I'm sorry.
Sorry I brought it up, Bill.
Back to the action on the bank track, which is what the folks are looking in for.
You just take your mind on the
That's
game.
right. Divorce court comes after this. Moving out on the jam this time, Pam Harrison. Severson out there 2-1. Crivello and Harrison for the Eastern Express. Yes, 1 point Express. Joan Weston moving Vallow out as the buzzer sounded. Great play by Joni Weston. She's been doing it for many years with the Bombers. On loan here for the Express. Picks up a valuable point for the Eastern Express.
You sound like you enjoyed that.
That was skating at its best.
Yeah, it was great. You have to admit, when you see great skating, you see great skating, and that was great, Bill.
Let me tell you one more time. I don't have to admit anything.
We come to the end of the fifth period, and we'll take a look at the scoreboard. It shows the Midwest Pioneers 33, the Eastern Express 31. Back with the men on the track right after this. Cut it off.
You're right. You know, it's interesting to see that Sean Atkinson and Jim Smith, who at one time skated on the same team, are now skating on opposite teams.
I don't know what's so interesting about that, but, well, who hired this guy?
I'm just going to give the lineups right now. Now, the lineup for the Eastern Express men's field. Number 41, Steve Sartain. Number 42, Joe Gilbert. James Paul, the coach, number 44. Frank Macedo, 45. Bill Grohl, 46. And Phil Moore, wearing number 50.
A veteran lineup, and as you said, some very big men at the front of that pack. Jerry Cattell, JoJo Stafford. James Paul wearing the pivot helmet now, looking for a jammer to come out of that pack. Jammers have to work their way from the back of the pack, get out, go around for each member of the opponent. Atkinson goes by. Here comes Perez. Perez trying to move on Macedo. He has the lead, and they're going to have to separate this when James Paul going to the infield, and he was helped there by Jerry Cattell, if you can call it help. After all that, no score. However, he got the water bucket a la Bill Parcells, but not the way that James Paul wanted it.
Well, I think James Paul should appreciate that. He worked hard. Obviously, he needed a drink of water, and Jerry Cattell was just helping him out.
A drink? He won't need another drink for the rest of his life.
Gave him hook, line, and sinker in the whole ocean that time.
In fact, the way he's laying out on the infield, it looks like that you may be right for once.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cattell will go to the penalty box for 1 minute. You know, roller derby has a grand tradition right here at Madison Square Garden. The first roller derby now.
Now that's payback. He blindsided Cattell. Cattell had no idea he was coming down there.
And he has his Madison Square Garden crowd on its feet. Vengeance is mine, saith James Paul that time.
Oh, great. He gets a 1-minute penalty. Big deal.
Turn to the bank track, ladies and gentlemen. They will still form a pack.
Cattell walking it off with Terry Lyne.
Both teams skating short-handed. Oh! More on after Cattell now. It's not over with. Oh! Phil Moore. The tallest man in the league. They've got Jerry Cattell, who's no shorty by any means. And Moore just said, hey, I've seen my coach take more than he needs to. Macedo to lead a blocking. Atkinson to Perez. Here comes a whip. And going through is Bill Grohl. Grohl with 4 points. He's moving on the pack. He can't get by Cattell, but he does pick up 4 points for the Eastern Express.
I don't believe it. The Express were outnumbered 5-3, and they still scored. I do not believe it.
What's so hard to believe?
That would never happen in the Southern Stars.
A lot of action to finish up the 6th skating period as you look at Jerry Cattell, who spent most of that period in the penalty box or on the track in a supine position. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 6 periods of play are in the record books. And the scoreboard shows the Midwest Pioneers 36, the Eastern Express 35. Because after the next jam, we'll be giving you the league address where you can send fan mail to your favorite skaters like Bill Dillon, get on the mailing list, or send for a free copy of the Roller Derby Roll. You just send a letter to me, sir.
Bill, have you seen a copy of the rules yet?
I've got them memorized.
I don't know, sometimes, Bill, that book may have been out of date, out of print.
What? What did he say?
He said it all.
You could look it up. Diane Severson out on the jam along with Rita Williams. Pam Harrison out.
Hello.
And on the track is Willie Ryan. Ooh. After being hit on the rail, Severson picks up a penalty, 1 point for the Express. So she got the point and did earn it, definitely.
Boy, that takes a lot of skill, doesn't it? Huh, Bill, to throw somebody like that into the rail head like that, head first?
Well, it was quite obvious that she saw that Ryan's helmet was just about to come off.
Oh.
And she was simply trying to help her get the helmet adjusted. I can't help it if Ryan trips over her own skates and falls on the rail. It's not Diane's fault.
Express trail by 2 points. Express women undoubtedly have to be tired at this point. Have to get a jam going. It will go the full 60 if they do. Bill Grohl at the head of the pack. 15 seconds left in this one at Madison Square Garden. It will go the full 60 if they get a jammer out. They're looking for Frankie Macedo. He breaks out and whips out Billy Grohl. We will go the full 60 seconds. Grohl is out by himself. Bill Grohl out on the jam by himself. James Paul trying to keep him in the pack. Regulation time has expired here. We're going to finish this one up with this jam. 51-48. Pioneers lead by 3 over the Express. Bill Grohl on loan from the Bay Bombers at the back of the pack. The final jam of regulation and the Express trail by 3. JoJo Stafford back there to block the veteran, the coach of the Pioneers. He's going to take the call here and hammers Grohl with a block. He hammers him with another block. Breaking away from the pack is Macedo. He is half a lap back. 20 seconds of jam time remaining. Here goes Billy Grohl. He is hammered again by JoJo. Here comes Macedo into the picture. About a third of the lap back. 15 seconds left of jam time remaining. And here comes Macedo. Here comes Grohl. Double block set up. Cattell. And JoJo. Down goes Macedo. Down goes Grohl. And cutting it off is Billy Grohl. And we're going to have to umpile this one. What do we have? We looked at the officials. 4 points, Eastern Express, 2 for each man, and we have a 52-51 victory for the Express. They pull it out in the last jam. Macedo getting out on the pack that time, was about 3/4 of a lap back, was up there, got the help from Grohl, 2 points apiece, 4 points Express, a 1-point win.
Breaking Macedo, Bill Grohl, they did the job. I mean, there's nothing else you can say.
Listen to this crowd at Madison Square Garden cheering on the hometown favorites, the Eastern Express, over the Midwest Pioneers. That final jam, 2 points for Bill Grohl and 2 points for Frankie Macedo. They have won the IRSL Challenge Cup, and they will take a victory lap. Willie Ryan there, Dolores Holmes, the women's squad. A victorious Eastern Express over the Midwest Pioneers. Stay tuned after the conclusion of this game as Tom Chasuk will be trackside with the winning club, the Eastern Express. And there you have it, folks. That scoreboard tells it all. The winner of this year's IRSL Challenge Cup are the Eastern Express 52 to the Midwest Pioneers 51. We're back with the interviews right after this message. Again, the Eastern Express has won the IRSL Challenge Cup by a score of 52 to 51 over the Midwest Pioneers. Now let's go trackside with Tom Chasuk and a word with the winners.
Thank you, Dave. Now to officially present the Challenge Cup to the victorious, triumphant Eastern Express team from Sony Tape, Joe Balsam, and Ken Wiedemann. Well, on behalf of Sony Tape, we're proud to present Eastern Express with the Challenge Cup for a terrific match and a terrific win tonight. Congratulations, team. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Let me ask you, JP, what was it? I mean, the teams were evenly matched through that whole game. What is that special edge that you had to pull this out?
Well, let me tell you, first I'd like to thank all the fans. I think that was a special edge. They really behind their team. We skated hard. We're glad to see you out here. On behalf of the Eastern Express, I'd like to thank Bill Grohl and Joan Weston. They did a great job. It's just teamwork, and the fans behind us. We got it.
And this is your first night as captain of the team. Fantastic game. The women were great tonight.
Girls pulled together.
Great.
Yes, we did.
You did great. Frank, that last jam, you and Bill Grohl out there?
I almost ran out of gas. I really did. I got it. Billy, thank God, he gave me a lift just at the last second, and I was able to, we were able to win the ball game.
Why would you run out of gas now? I mean, you've been going already. It seems like 50 years. Don't stop now.
I'll tell the people that.
Okay.
It was rough, though. It was rough. Good team.
Great.
The Pioneers have a hell of a team. They really do.
Great. Joan, great job tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. We're very flattered to be asked to come back here.
Great job. Bill Grohl, thanks. Great jam, that last jam.
Well, I'll tell you something. There's something going on here. We've had it years ago with the old Chiefs, the Express. They showed the same thing. They never give up. They never give up. We were outmatched up for a while. James and I got together. Joni got together with Dolores. And you saw the results, fans. Never quit. I don't care what it is, kids. Never quit. Never quit.
Great. Now, let's go back up to Dave Eddy.
Thank you, Tom. Bill Hill, coach of the Southern Stars. Your final thoughts on a great contest.
Women's field, Sherry Eric got hurt early, and I think that was definitely something that the Pioneers didn't want to see happen. In the men's field, very simply two things. Jerry Cattell did not assert himself in the final period like he should have. And then we go back to the jam before the final jam in the game. Strategic coaching error. That jam should never have been called off. The Pioneers should have gone in, put the nails in the coffin. They didn't do it. There's your outcome.
Final score again, the Eastern Express 52 and the Midwest Pioneers. For Tom Chasuk and Bill Hill, I'm Dave Eddy, along this special IRSL Madison Square Garden Network. So long, everybody.